Hi, Dr. Wang here. Today I'm going to do a training video for this assignment. In this assignment, we're going to use the plasmid editor function in Sapio to detect open reading frame in a given DNA sequence. So before solving the questions in this assignment, we first need to log into the Sapio platform. So this is actually a platform for electronic notebook. And I'm going to click login, choose my login, and then enter password. So if you do not have an account, please register for a free account. Just choose the lowest level, which is free for academic users. I'm going to log in here. And when you first log in, it's going to ask you to either use a given template or create a new experiment. So I'm going to create a new experiment and then create a default experiment. So here it looks blank. So you can certainly manage all your modules by giving it a name that's more trackable. So here I'm just going to call this plasmid editor 1 or F. All right. So here, click to enter a module. I'm going to choose plasmid editor. So this opens up basically a couple of options for you to enter sequence. I'm going to choose this option, input sequence. All right, so coming back to the assignment, copy the entire sequence, numbers and all, and then just paste it right here. So here we can see the sequence is already inputted here. So for this demonstration, I'm actually going to use a different sequence just so that I'm not giving away the answers in this demonstration. So I'm going to click this to open another tab, and then here input sequence. So here I'm going to actually choose a different sequence, like so. And then now the sequence is entered, right? So let's look at what are the questions in this quiz. So the first question asks you, so how many nucleotides are in this sequence? So we can see that this is the entire sequence, right? So if you scroll to the very end, you can see that this is basically the very last nucleotide is a G, right? So DNA is made of GTACs. So the last nucleotide is G. When you scroll over, it's telling you that this position is 462. And it's also displayed down here that's telling you the total number of nucleotide is 482, right? So 482. So this is a demo. So remember that I'm using a different sequence. So please do not enter 462 into your assignment. You're supposed to use the sequence that's given to you in the assignment and then do the same process and then enter that number here, right? So please do not enter 462. So the second question asks you, so this gene codes for a protein with how many amino acids? To solve this, you will have to find the open reading frame and then translate it to protein sequence. So I'm going to do this here. Okay, so here there is a function here. If you click on this icon, it's going to tell you that there is an ORF detection function. So I'm going to click on this function. So here, ORF detection. So we are going to choose or ask the software to detect open reading frame only in the forward direction because the sequence we gave you is in the forward direction. So we're going to use the forward direction, and then initiation codon, we're just going to use the default setting. So this part is important. We're not going to start in nucleotide 1. We're actually going to start in nucleotide 0. Right, so it's basically going to start scanning at the very beginning. So here I'm going to start the scan. So here we can see the scan basically tells you the very first nucleotide actually is the beginning of the open reading frame, right? So we can see that this open reading frame starts with codon ATG, which codes for methionine. This is sort of the default setting for open reading frame. And if I scroll to the very end, we can see that the very end is TAG. This is a stop codon represented by a star. So the entire sequence is actually an open reading frame. So right, so this is not always the case, but in this example, it actually is the case. The entire sequence is open reading frame. So the next thing I'm going to do is put my cursor here, all right? So, and then I'm going to basically scroll all the way to the bottom to make sure that I select the entire sequence. So now I can use the translation function, right? So we already detected the open reading frame. Now we're going to translate it, translate the highlighted sequence. So here, this is the translation. So how many amino acids it's given to you here? 153 amino acid. So this is basically how you find the answer to the second question. You're going to enter that number into here. But again, please do not use the number that I just showed you because I'm using a different sequence, not the sequence in the assignment. So this is how to solve question number 2, right? So for example, but again, this is not the right answer. You're going to see it's not correct here because I'm using a different sequence. So the third question, the first 5 amino acid. So the first 5 amino acid is right here, right? So the first one is methionine followed by NSDE, right? So here I'm going to paste that sequence. Oh, wait. I might need to type it. So let me do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Copy. Yeah. So it seems like I can't really copy. So I'm just going to remember this, right? So MNSDE. MNSDE. All right, so this is what you're supposed to type into this box, the first 5 amino acid. Again, this is not the right answer because I'm using a different sequence. However, if you use the sequence here, do the same process, you should get the correct answer for this assignment.